Hi guys, you're probably wondering what this is all about. Well, a lot of people walk around with rose-colored glasses or blinders on so that they cannot see the truth. And what is my very favorite question? How many times can you be lied to when you do not know the truth? So today, let's take our blinders off, put our focused glasses on, and I'm going to show you a very real truth. Because in the very beginning, this is my $1 gold piece. It's a 1/20th of an ounce of gold. You see how big it is or how small it is. This is a piece silver dollar. These two were equal. Of course, this is a 1/20th of an ounce and this is 1 ounce. So these were both worth $1 along with this silver certificate, also a stated dollar. And during that period of time in 1913, let's see, $1 could buy you 11 loaves of bread. Now, just so you know that all the bread that we're using for this demonstration today will be donated afterwards. And I'm taking my time with this because I really want to make a point to you, and this is just reality, that back in 1913, $1 could buy 11 loaves of bread. So we've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so what that means, can you hear me all right? I mean, should I point this up a little bit more? Okay, that means that with this, or this, you could buy 11 loaves of bread. Now, this is the Federal Reserve note, which of course was created from corporate debt. So in 1971, we'd lost enough purchasing power that, I'm going to take these off. That same dollar now just bought you 6 loaves of bread. But they knew this. This is what they knew many things, but by a continuing process of inflation, governments can confiscate secretly and unobserved an important part of the wealth of their citizens. And while the process impoverishes most people, it actually enriches some. And we've seen the wealth and income inequality. But I'm going to show it to you in terms of bread. Because I tell you this all the time, there are over 4,800 government debt-based currencies that no longer exist. And this is all that's where we're headed, but it's all by design. Inflation is baked into the system so that governments can tax you without having to go through legislation, but corporations can pay you less. So I know we're seeing a lot of the overlap between government and corporations now, but that's always been the way that it was since the very beginning. And this time, my friends, is not any difference. So just understand that inflation is baked into the system, and this was the beginning of the system, and we are now at the end of it. And let me show you further, because as I showed you before, just to make the point that whether it was a 1/20th of an ounce of gold, a $1 gold piece, 1 ounce of silver, or 1 silver certificate, they all bought 11 loaves of bread. Now, that is no longer true. Right now, let's just see how much. It's 0.4. It's not even a half of a loaf. It's pretty much like this one we won't donate. But, okay, what can this $1 buy you now? This much bread. That's how much it can buy you. Crappy deal. How about that silver? How about it? Well, let's see. How about 16 loaves of bread? So we can put more on here. I'm doing this visually because I really want to make this point. And this is a pretty dramatic way to do it. That's 7, that's 8, 9. I couldn't even buy as much bread as I wanted. Let's see, we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 15 and 16. That's 16 loaves of bread. So that silver dollar can still buy you the same amount of food. That's why I like silver for barterability. But how about this little 20th of an ounce, this $1 gold coin? Well, quite honestly, they didn't have enough. But that $1 gold coin, here, I'm not even taking it out of the bag. All I could do was get 45 loaves. And by the way, this is the cheapest bread that I could find. $2.49 on sale at Safeway. Not going to be able to see me in a minute. Crazy, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Because you can't even see me anymore, can ya? Well, I'm about to be buried under bread. But let me tell you, all I was able to get were 45 loaves, and this is not on this table. But the $1 gold coin, that not only maintains your ability to purchase the same goods and services, but it expands it. So, did I make my point? Now, I want to show you what's happening in the spot markets. There's nothing below there, right? All right, I'm just going to push them off. Okay. Okay. So there's some interesting things that are also happening in the spot gold and silver markets. So let's take a look at what that looks like. This is the spot gold chart. Yep. And you remember before when what I'm showing you here is a wedge formation, but you remember before when everybody was complaining because spot gold was hitting its head, not really doing anything? Oh yeah, it's doing quite a bit. But remember, in a wedge formation, that is a series of lower and lower highs and higher lows. When you see that, at some point, it will either break out above, which is exactly what you're looking at here, or break down below, which is not what you're going to see here because the markets are much hotter. You will also notice on there the red line, which is the 200-day moving average, and the blue line, which is the 50-day moving average. So on the 200-day moving average, every day for 200 days, they total up where spot closes and they divide it by 200, and that gives you an average. And it kind of acts like a rudder on a ski boat. And if the spot price is a water skier, there's only so far above or below that it can go before coming back to that center. So I point this out because I want you to look at what's happening with the spot market right now. It keeps going up to about 3,500 and bumping its head because it is so far away from that 200-day moving average. 10% technically would be considered a lot. And so where you see it keep going up and bumping its head and going inside of this narrow range, what it's actually doing is working off that overbought position. But what you're also looking at in this chart is higher and higher lows. So my anticipation is we could have a little bit more inside of that trading range between the top and that line on the bottom, but we are going to get another breakout, and you will most likely see spot gold go well above 3,500. And, that range is getting more and more narrow. So I can't tell you exactly when it's going to break out because I cannot really tell that. If it were like in the tip of the wedge, right, where it goes like that, if it were in the tip, that's kind of easier to tell. It's got a little bit to go, but expect a breakout and expect spot gold to continue to rise. That's what I'm seeing here. Now, how about spot silver? Well, spot silver, we see actually a wedge formation starting where, like we saw with spot gold in the previous chart, you have a small series of lower highs, but you also have higher lows. So that can go inside of this range for a little bit too. We're not at the end, we're not at the very tip, but I believe that you will definitely see spot silver going ahead and breaking out above that range. And it's certainly possible that, because it's close enough, 39, 38, 39 bucks. We're going to see the 40 bucks. Easily, we could see it maybe to that 50 range before the end of the year or the beginning of the year. But it is now working all of that off. And my bet is, well, I know once it goes above the 50, technically we will have a breakout. And I've shown you this before. I didn't show you this on this chart, but I've shown you this before where we're really looking at a double cup formation, which is really quite, I haven't seen it in any other chart. It's quite rare, quite powerful, and on its way. So can you see, I kept the receipt from yesterday. 45 loaves cost me $112.05. Or it cost me $1 worth of this dollar gold coin for 186 loaves. Goodness gracious, there is very hard evidence, and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And that's using, how many of you spend $2.49 on a loaf of bread? Right? The only guarantee that I can ever give you is that I will show up and I will do the work. And until next we meet, let's all show up. Let's create that local community to create that surety, and let's get some money, redeemable gold, back in the system again. Because I know we can. At least I have high hopes. And until next we meet, please be safe out there. Bye-bye.